reading subject. Today we are working on something new. Well, something new for us. It's a very old medium. As you can tell from the title, we are doing Kurt Vonnegut's writing routine as a way of me, your grand leader, trying to get famous before the book gets published so I don't have to do so much work then. And just a little bit of information about Kurt Vonnegut. He's the author of Slaughterhouse-Five, as you can see here. He was an American novelist, born 1922, died 2007, and he's a pretty well-regarded postmodernist author. Anyway, back to the video. So Kurt Vonnegut's routine is as follows. 5:30, wake up. Cool. 8 a.m. stop writing. So I'm assuming he gets up and straight away starts writing. So I'll be doing that. So that means you'll probably see me with my hair all messed up and in my pajamas. Then he stops at 8 a.m. as I said. He eats breakfast, and then I'm assuming from there, because it says then stop writing again at 10 a.m. So he goes again until 10 a.m. and then he stops. 10 to 11:45, he walks and runs errands. He also went for a swim. Now, that's a problem for me because the nearest swimming bath to me is on the waterfront in Wellington, and I can't get there without a hour-long walk, so I won't be able to do that. From 12 p.m., yes, of course, he has lunch, and then at 12:30 he starts schoolwork, which will be very helpful for me because I have fallen behind in my university work. At 5:30, so he does his work from 12:30 to 5:30. He has it said several bouts of scotch, which I am hoping it means 3 and not 7. Wish me luck. I've got the scotch in I already had the scotch. And then at 6 p.m. he cooks dinner, which it'll be fun to cook dinner rather than order it in. 6 to 10 p.m. is leisure, so he listens to jazz. He says there were lots of good music on the radio. He also said he reads quite a bit during that time, so that'll be fun as well. I might do some gaming as well because, well, I can. And then 10 p.m. he goes to sleep. So as we're going to structure, the way we're going to structure this is it's going to go for 3 days, from Friday, Saturday to Sunday. Then I will check in with you at various points, probably when I finish writing at before I start writing at 5:30, and then 8 p.m. when I stop. Then I'll just intersperse that at different times on different days. And yeah, so that should be fun. I'm looking forward to the bouts of scotch because Lord knows it's going to knock me out because I haven't been Lord knows it's going to knock me out because I haven't been drinking recently, so that's going to be fun. Hopefully not too much because I have to cook, and cooking and drinking is not a safe thing to do. But I will do it because you demand it of me. No one's watching, but you demand it of me. I want to drink the scotch. So, what is the point of this, I think you're wondering, besides me trying to get famous for my book? Well, the reality is I've actually finished the first draft. So there's part of me that goes, well, what do I do now? What do I do in between this? And I thought, well, I could take a break from writing, but I thought, no, I don't really want to do that because writing is my escape. It's my way of getting away from the fact that life is real and you have to do things that you don't like doing, like university, schoolwork, actual work and stuff like that. So I'm going to continue writing. So I've been writing short stories and hoping to publish them in Clarkesworld or Apex or whatever magazines will have them. Going to be working on short stories, and we're going to see if the roughly 2 to 3 hour blocks of writing can produce, of writing and editing, I'm assuming is what he meant, can produce enough, and then also the amount of schoolwork, and see if that balance can work well in the weekends and on Fridays, because I don't have class on Fridays, because I'm a part-time studier because of illness reasons. And so with that, we're going to embark on this journey together. And yeah, I've made a mental note to add in posts and facts about Kurt Vonnegut, otherwise this looks very superficial. I do know stuff about Kurt Vonnegut, but as always, it disappears the minute you have to sit down and talk about it. But anyway, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun with this, because Kurt Vonnegut, I've only read one book of his, but it was a very good book, and unfortunately I haven't read anything else because I've been focusing on books that have come out recently and trying to gauge what they, what I need to be working on in order to become a published author. Now, what I'm working on at the moment are short stories, but what my overall project is it's sort of it's a space opera. I think I've figured that out. It's definitely not science fiction. I thought it was, but it definitely isn't. It's sort of it's more fantasy, and also it's fantasy in space, so it's a space opera. Let's face facts. And so what I'm doing is I've taken a break from it, as I said in the previous clip. So what's important to me is getting this thing published, because I believe it's a good story. I believe it's a way of having some fun, and potentially not having to finish my degree. No, I'm finishing my degree, but it's, everyone wishes to, well, not everyone, sorry. People who write wish to be writers or authors. We don't tend to want to just write into the void. But as for me, someone with an ego and someone with proper narcissistic traits, I'm definitely going to do it. So, what exactly is the story? I'm not going to go into characters and all this stuff, but to take from Christie Ann Jones, I would suppose we call it Operation Desert. No, we'll call it Project Cola, because that's the main character, Project Cola. And so I'm very excited to share it with people, but as normal with publishing, it's very difficult to get published, which is why I'm not going to go into details about the book, because it's still in its infancy. So I will, this is my way of keeping myself honest, talking about the drafts, talking about what I need to do, talking about the challenges. So I will keep myself honest this way. Now, with this Kurt Vonnegut routine, and with the routines I'm planning on doing, that's a way of me finding the perfect balances. I usually wake up at 5 o'clock. I usually go for a walk immediately. I then usually get washed up, have breakfast, and then sit down, write 1,000 words, finish there, and do all the other stuff I need to do for the day. Greetings, subject. As you can see, I have my bed head ready. I've got my pajamas on, and it's 5:30. I did wake up a little earlier, which is why I'm less groggy. So I'm writing from now till about 8 o'clock. I'll stop then, and I've decided I'll catch up with you at 10, so you won't see me till about 4.5 hours. And so mostly I'll be writing during that time, and then I'll be eating. As for the writing, I'm writing a story that it's kind of got a lot of occult, occult magical rituals sort of thing. And so I'm having trouble with it because I'm not naturally occulty. I don't know if that's a word. It's probably not. But the occult really interests me at the moment. I don't know why. I'm not planning on becoming a magician or anything, but it really is an interesting subject. And because I'm writing it in the same universe as my main book, it's got that same space opera feel, that feeling of this magical environment around you. Anyway, so I'll get to the writing. So I have until 8 o'clock, so that's about 2.5 hours. So yeah, I'll get back to you then. Hello, welcome. It's now 10 o'clock, so I'm done with writing for the day. I started at 5:30 in my pajamas, as you saw, and worked solidly until about 8 o'clock. Had about 30 minutes off, and sorry, you might hear noise from out there, but it's hot in here. So I've been working through the story, been adding a bit more of I've been adding more real life religious symbolism and not symbolism as in like crosses or crucifixes, or more the clothing, the pageantry of it all, which I find quite interesting. I've also removed characters and added one. I thought to condense the character list is usually best for short stories, is what I've been told. And so the short story is now, it's called The Fervor Ritual, so that's the working title. I don't know if it'll last. Someone's shouting. So from there I'm going to probably break off. So let me just get my little book. So from now, we've stopped writing, and from now to 11:45 we will be running errands and going for a walk, which is excellent. I have a birthday present to buy, I have some shopping that I need to catch up on, and I have I need to walk. I haven't had my daily walk. And then 12 o'clock will be lunch, 12:30 will be some schoolwork, and then 5:30 I'll meet you back at 5:30 when I'm having my scotch. Hello. So today has gone very well. I'll just get the book to review the schedule. So I did wake up at 5:30, well, a little earlier. I worked all the way through to 10 a.m. I've done my schoolwork. It's about, it's just under 5:30, so give it a bit. The scotch I'm having soon. Dinner and leisure and sleep, you don't need to see that. So day one, pretty good. I'm looking forward to day two, but it may prove to be a challenge to get up at 5:30 again, because I'm having to take medication for my sleep at the moment due to my mental illness, and so I'm screwing this challenge up a little bit. So hopefully it doesn't happen, because I would love to salvage the footage. But if it does, we'll call it a day and we'll say I failed that challenge and we'll come back to it. But other than that, yeah, today was a pretty productive day. I got a lot done in the short story, got a lot done in my schoolwork, I got a lot done in general. I bought the presents I needed for my friend's birthday. I went shopping. I did all this stuff that I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow or the day after that, because a lot of it is done, so that's going to be interesting. But that's me for today. Belt of scotch coming on its way. I think I have some Johnny Walker in the fridge. It did say that he had it with water, not with ice. So that's going to be fun. All right, day 2. So it's Saturday, about 5:30. I had a bit of trouble getting up, so it's a little after. I'm getting ready for the first set of writing, so I'll stop at 8 o'clock again, have breakfast, and then stop at 10 o'clock again. Today's going to be a bit odd because, to be honest with you, I guess Kurt Vonnegut was working on novels, so he had a lot more work to do. So my short story is almost completed in that section, so I may need to start brainstorming and doing research for a new story, because there's something in short fiction in fiction and creative writing where if you leave the draft to sit, oftentimes you can get more out of it. I'm going to run out of work. I've also run out of work for university because, again, when you finish the first draft, leave it to sit. This is for any drafting you do, because if you go over it again immediately, you're not going to see the problems. Well, it's a little before 10 o'clock. Sorry. As I predicted, I ran out of things to do very quickly. You saw the time lapse. It was about 2 hours before breakfast. I don't know how. I honestly think he was doing novels. So there was a likelihood he knew he had more to do. So maybe I should wait to have a novel to be write in order to do these things properly. But, this is a learning experience for all of us. Well, for me. Not. Most of you have probably watched 1,000 of these videos. Style of doing things is he was still operating quite efficiently at this point. And what I mean by that, he was lecturing and doing university work, and also writing, and also being a normal human being. A lot of the routines I was looking at when I was planning on making this video, a lot of them, you're not being a real human being. Usually this is their full-time job. Usually they're hermits. It's been an interesting routine. I'm interested to see what I produce in that time. I've gotten the manuscript, as I said, to a very polished point in terms of grammar and spelling. The story concept, I think I will go over it one more time and then do one more spell and grammar check. And then I'll have a beta reader or two read over it. Then I'll send it to an editor to help me go through it. And then I think I will send it in to see if I can get it published. I've made it quite short because I think that's been the previous problem with my pieces, is they've been too big for someone of my amateur of my standing. So yeah, that's what I've done. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. That's the first time I've done something like that, and it looked really cool. So hopefully that was fun. Yes, a lot of you probably noticed I hunch over really badly. I'm also a very big person, so big, fat, tall, all those things. And this may just be my naivety, but I'm not certain someone drinks like this every day. It is a belt of scotch, so it's not meant to be like a big glass. It's meant to be like a small sliver that you then put with a bit of water and then just knock that back. So at least that's how I understand scotch was drunk in those days. But yeah, so I've rambled a bit here, but tomorrow, so I might not do 5:30 today because there's very little for me to go over. So tomorrow, Sunday, will be the last day. Hopefully I'll get some very good footage for that. I don't think I will because I've run out of things to do. But yeah, see you then. Hello everyone, welcome to the end of the Kurt Vonnegut challenge. We have done it, 3 days of waking up at 5:30, working and doing schoolwork and all this stuff. And so I thought I would review I thought I would do a review of what I thought of the Kurt Vonnegut routine. So first and foremost, not for me. Not enough exercise in terms of getting the body moving early on to get my mind moving. So, I think Anne Rice was similar, where they just get out of bed and immediately everything's flowing in their head. I'm not like that. I need a good walk for maybe 30 to 40 minutes to get to shake off the cobwebs and get everything working again. So that wasn't for me. The time is 30 minutes after I usually wake up, so I was usually waking up early and just waiting for the alarm to go off. The schoolwork thing was useful, probably a bit too intense for me because I think there is a thing where their generation seemed to be able to work through burnout a lot easier than mine. Whether or not it's to do with the level of work or the mental labor or how he was doing it or just the work ethic alone. I don't have the same work ethic, so I struggled with that a lot. As for everything else, as for running errands, doing exercise in the middle of the day, it was fine. I didn't really have trouble either way. And I'm sorry, but this was sort of a mundane challenge. I thought it would be harder if I had to stick to it. I was right that I would run out of writing work. That's why there was no Sunday footage, because it was mostly just me sitting there going, I was nitpicking by the end. I was like, I'm pretty sure, to be honest with you, the story is not as interesting as I first thought it was. So it'll be interesting to see what my beta readers think, because I don't think it's as interesting as I thought it was going to be. But that could just be because I'm fatigued from reading it so much. Who knows? But yeah, so I got a lot of work done, both school and writing, so that was helpful. But as for the rest of it, not for me. So the next one I'm thinking of trying is Stephen King, because he does a walk before he gets everything ready. So he also does quite a long walk. He wakes up, I think, an hour after I wake up usually, so the sun will be out, I think, or nearly out. So that should be interesting too. So stick around, there's more experiments coming. I think this is a fun start, but we will perfect this as we go along. Anyway, thank you for watching. Stay tuned and subscribe and like, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.